What's up, everybody? This is Alex Worldwide Keller, and you're listening to The Card is Going to Change. And let me tell you about one of our beautiful, amazing, gracious, and awesome sponsors. That's right, it's Pollyanna DIY at Pollyanna DIY on Twitter, on Instagram. Go to PollyannaDIY.com, and you can get all sorts of amazing buttons, shirts, pins, the whole kit and caboodle. That's right, PollyannaDIY.com. But now, let's take it to the reason that you hit download, the reason that you are streaming. That's right, the card is going to change.
Hello once again, everybody. Thanks for listening to AIW's The Card is Going to Change. Before we get into this week's episode, as always, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors that help us bring the show to you for free each and every week. Firstly, thanks to Angelo's Pizza. They're feeding us here as they always do while we record, and they, of course, bring pizza to you at our live events at Mount Carmel. If you want to try more of their pizza or anything else on their menu, it's all delicious. Head to Angelo's on Madison Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio. And thanks to Smart Mark Video, they record all of our live events. And if you want to relive any of those or watch them for the first time, you can purchase that on DVD or digital download from smartmarkvideo.com. And additionally, head to powerbomb.tv, sign up using the code ABSOLUTE, and you will get a 20-day trial for free. And then stick around and just keep watching the shows that we put out there from the AIW archives. And as always, thanks to Jack Prince, who helps take care of all of our printing and graphic design needs. They can do all of that and more for you, whether it be banners, t-shirts, business cards, flyers, everything and anything. For all that they have to offer, head to jackprince.com.
JAKPrince.com.
Ah, yes, that voice you heard right there, none other than the Duke. He joins us here on this week's episode, along with AIW owner John Thorne, as always. And, of course, my name is Steve Guy. I'm your moderator of sorts. And this episode, well, the Duke, I think you really wanted to be here. You have some grievances.
I did?
The Duke always is asking for time to speak to his fan base.
No, that's not why I wanted to. I just periodically, I peek in on the podcast every now and then that I'm not on, and I always hear that it usually for about 45 seconds I'm a random topic of conversation, and it usually involves something negative. So I'm just often curious as to why that always is. I also found it odd that on the Wrestle Rager recap podcast, you bring in everybody that beat me up, but you didn't bring me in to get that other perspective.
Well, let's hear your perspective.
Sucked. That's my perspective. It was terrible.
Yeah, how did you feel when 99 Problems hit?
Well, I mean, you don't
breaking down the fourth wall here.
You don't expect it, but then from him, you kind of do expect it. He's got to horn in on everybody's moment. That's what it is. It's like, hey,
moment.
We got Weird World. Now that's class. We got the fans bring their weapons. Everything's crazy. I go the extra step of pulling the fast one on everybody by going 5-on-4, and here comes frickin' Thorne stealing everybody's thunder. Hey man, play my music. I'm coming back.
Everybody's or just yours? Is that what you're most worried about?
No, everybody's. Everybody's.
I ruined everybody.
Mance was ready to go.
Mance was ready to go.
Getting all bloody and getting his tongue stapled, and Jock was doing his thing, and the two young kids, Parker Pierce and Twan, they're all excited. And it's like, oh.
And I ruined
all right, what do we got? How are we going to bring Thorne in? Oh, here comes Thorne. All right, great.
But Thorne was actually part of the couple of those moments that you just said. He's the one who stapled the dollar to Manser.
Anybody could have done
Because
that.
I make moments, man.
I mean, that was maybe that was his idea.
No, Marino, you don't need to do that. Let me do that.
Oh,
See,
is that how it went in your
that's
mind?
how it
He's a
goes.
young, innocent boy. He didn't know how to.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't know how to act in that environment.
Yeah, it was
No,
John Thorne stabbing Big Twan Tucker, creating yet another Twan meme.
Well, Twan is a
And a sticker. Did you see
And a
those
sticker.
stickers?
Yeah, I have
and
one
a
of those.
sticker. Yeah, I did not get one of those. But yeah,
I had a bunch and I lost them all. So Rick Nelson, if you got any left, let me know.
Oh, all right.
I mean, he's the owner, so you have to acquiesce. It's kind of like when Vince wants to be in the Rumble.
Oh, my
you
God.
kind of have to go, yeah,
Oh, wow.
okay. You don't expect him to book himself to go over, but, you know, it's like, all right, get yourself all oiled up and get out there. Put your chain around your neck and let's go, Vince. But, I mean, it's part of what you sign up for.
Who gets more upset about their mentions on the podcast, Duke or Swoggle?
I think Swoggle might be getting more angry than the Duke these days.
I've kind of given up. I sit in my palatial office and I listen to it and I just go, oh, that's really not the way it went down, but okay. I mean, there's always some kind of a twist or some kind of fabrication of a story or whatever else.
Yeah, in your mind.
No. I mean, I could show you some of the. I wish I could remember the example, but there was one that you said that was completely opposite of the text that I had received about it, and I was like, "That son of a bitch, just got to make me look bad 24/7."
Duke never heard of kayfabe.
Whatever, man.
Whatever, man. So let's air your grievances. What else you got?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much it. You know, I mean, I'm trying to get booked. That's all. You know, trying to get my face out there.
Trying to get booked.
You know, I gotta compete with all these 20-year-olds. So all these students.
Well, you are booked this coming weekend.
I am booked. That is true.
You are.
He initially wasn't.
I initially wasn't.
No.
No, but they made the what do they call that? The Rolaids Call to the Bullpen, Rolaids Relief Award.
I said I'm calling the bullpen.
It is the Rolaids relief. Yeah.
Yeah, and I got pulled in.
AT&T called the bullpen. Yeah.
I got pulled in to apparently go 1-on-73 with the Barkley Nation.
Yeah, I
I
was gonna
guess.
say you're taking on an entire nation.
I will hop that rail and start swinging if I have to.
Listen to this. Listen to this.
Calling them out already.
Because I guarantee you, if I get out there and do it, some true fan will get on my side.
I don't know.
It'll be 4-on-73 or something. Trust me, there's a lot of legit fans that can't stand those people. They're waiting. They're just waiting for that go ahead. They're waiting for that green light.
This is this is like a social experiment. This match.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what I came up with. This is a social experiment because so many people are torn on Wes Barkley based on his fan base, right? So I want to see where the AIW faithful will fly their flag.
You're already seeing some of it on Twitter.
When it's the Barkley Nation and Wes Barkley versus the Duke. Which side is everybody going to be on?
I've already seen multiple people say they're joining Barkley Nation for the
I have, but I the ones that I've seen I completely expected. But I have seen a couple that have actually sided with me. And one of them I was very surprised. I don't know. I don't think I know the guy personally. It's hard to know who people are on Twitter with the different names and stuff. I don't think I've ever met him, but he had some positive words for me, and I was like, wow.
You think this is where a thrift store jobber throws his money down on the Duke?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Is he going to make it through the whole show?
Jobber?
We'll get to that.
Oh wow! Oh man!
Oh come on! I wasn't going to say that. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on! After all the grief,
That's
come on.
fair. That's fair.
Come on.
Yeah, we'll see. This is a social experiment coming up this weekend at the Winchester.
It's going to be really interesting, and I guess since we're going to have the show at a bar and probably we'll have an advertisement, we're sitting here, and I'm going to make mention because we talk a lot about drinking on this podcast.
Do you need to stretch out before that segue, Steve
And,
guy, or anything? Or
no, I just want to thank. We have a new sponsor in Muscle Vodka. We got a bottle sitting here, chilling here. So if you guys are looking for something new, even Thorne might have to make a switch here instead of Tito's.
I don't know. We'll see.
There's a new.
why don't you just forego the water and drink both vodkas?
Costs us, yeah, vodka.
Yeah.
Muscle Tito's.
Give me a vodka.
Muscle Tito's? Yeah. So we have Muscle Vodka is our new sponsor. Ask any bar that you go to, grab it. If they don't have it, tell them to pick it up, or go to a liquor store and tell them to start carrying it so you can drink what we do.
I'm going to drink it today, and I'm going to see how it goes. I do appreciate the free bottles of vodka, though.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Duke, what are your plans for Wes
What are my
Barkley?
plans?
Yeah.
My plans are to beat the bejesus out of him. I mean, that's kind of the plan all the time. I mean, they brought he's like he just has this warped sense of entitlement because he has all these people that come see him, and so I think he believes that he's way more over than he is because he gets such a great fan reaction. But in reality, he's an excuse to go drink. Because if Wes Barkley wasn't in AIW, all those people would be somewhere else drinking.
Uh-huh.
So because he's doing something in a bar, they all just go, well, let's go hang out at where Wes is and drink there rather than drink somewhere else. So they're all going to come.
So does that mean that he's over in wrestling or over in real life?
Yeah.
I don't think. I just think his friends are alcoholics. I don't. Think,
Alcoholics.
Oh, wow.
I don't think he's necessarily over either way. I mean, I think they just like booze.
So when you were in your early 20s, you weren't hitting the bar every weekend?
I'm not saying no one. You didn't ask me the question. I mean, you're asking me now. Of course, I was.
Did you?
Does that mean you were an alcoholic?
No, because I was a responsible human being.
Did you ever have enough people to bring multiple party buses to see you somewhere?
No, I never brought multiple party buses. Party bus, perhaps, but never party buses.
Yeah, I mean that's
No.
What about the pants? You don't like his flashy pants.
His sequins?
Yeah.
Oh no, they're fine. I just
Oh, sequins you like? Okay.
his sequins are fine. I mean, they're flashy. They're part of his little thing. He's a flashy guy. It's Wes Barkley.
He drives a Maserati.
I know it's Maserati Wes Barkley, and it's just you bring Eddie in at Now That's Class to presumptively try to teach him a lesson, but Eddie's a hired gun. Eddie's a mercenary. Eddie just comes in, does his job, gets paid.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it necessarily stuck. And then you saw the fans throwing beers at Eddie, which is never a smart thing to do.
No, definitely not.
God bless Eddie for not
Yeah.
What are you
becoming
going to do if they throw a
Eddie.
beer at you?
What's that?
What are you going to do if they throw a beer at you?
I already told you I'm jumping the rail.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
wow.
I don't know.
I'm gonna end up like TSJ and get tossed out of there if they throw a beer at me.
Yeah, I mean, that would be true.
But
It'd be a long time since the Duke has gone to the rails for a fan. Last time he went to the rails for a fan, it was for a makeout.
Yeah, Absolution, Absolution 2.
So this will be different.
That's a much different result. That's very true. That's very true.
Frenching.
Frenching.
But, hey, that's what you do when you're the champ. You got to celebrate that title somehow.
How long has it been since you've been the champ?
Been a champ?
No, in AIW, a champ.
Oh, a champ in AIW? Then whenever that was, I don't remember.
Absolutely.
Transition. My role is transition. I'm a mentor of young stars now. That's what.
Do you think that you'll ever mentor a Maserati Wes Barkley?
If he gets his act together and he humbles himself and he comes to me and says, "Hey, man, Duke, you're a genius. You know everything about the business. I'm a young, impressionable kid. I need your guidance. I need your mentorship." Sure.
What if he
I'll
says?
probably say yeah.
What if he says, Duke, come get on this party bus with all these 22-year-old girls? Would you mentor him then?
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, would you mentor those girls?
The uneducated part of my brain would say absolutely, but then the educated part of my brain would say, why am I going to waste all this time on this party bus with all these girls who don't want to talk to me? So I would just.
Oh, you got that Duke money.
They don't care.
You flaunt those six figures.
They don't care.
Oh, they'll care if you
They
flaunt
don't
the
care.
6 figures.
No, they
Is it
won't.
7 figures?
Not 7 yet. I'm working on it.
Buying them drinks left and
I'm
right.
upgrading that portfolio last week.
Yeah, what's up with my portfolio? What kind of
I
stocks?
haven't even
you-
started your tax return yet.
Oh, man.
That's a little late.
What are you on the Stash app, like Worldwide? Is that how you do your portfolio?
What is that again? Oh, is that the one that rounds up your purchases?
No, it's
You like you invest like $5?
invest $5 in the stock market.
Like, that's it, or at a time, or
It's $5. You could
in
just
different things, I
invest.
guess.
You could buy a stock for $5.
You can't buy a stock for $5. You can buy a piece of a stock for $5.
I don't know. Worldwide says he's got about $15 playing in the market right now.
Yeah, well, it's all relative for him. $15 for him is
He says this is his WrestleMania. This is how he's going to fund.
He's
fund WrestleMania weekend.
He's going to fund WrestleMania by beating the market.
Yeah, that's what he says.
That's what he says.
Yeah,
well, he tried it last year, and he's still got that same $15 in play, I think.
yeah. I think he showed it to us, and not much has moved.
Still 15.
Hey, I think he's
If
at
it
about.
hasn't moved,
I think he's
I mean-
about $18 right now.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's gone up, that's fine. But I mean, because the market has gone up a ton in the last 9 months or so. So if his was flat, I'd be a little wary.
What stocks you in right now?
I'm in all the big names, all
do
the
you
big
got?
name stocks. I can't be tossing it out there. You guys are going to buy it to drive down the price somehow.
Oh,
I don't even know how to buy a stock.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Stash
do any
it.
of that.
That's all I know.
I'm not telling you guys anything.
I told you to get my portfolio going, and I don't see no movement.
There's not a lot of market for figures.
This is why he had to show himself at Wrestle Rager.
He's mad. He was mad that his portfolio
Those were your
hasn't
consequences.
performed.
Yeah,
So
I'm
they took it out on me.
trying to get my retirement fund going.
You work for the. I probably shouldn't say.
Yeah, you can't tell me.
I
You
can't
say
say.
what I do for a living.
You own a wrestling company. You don't actually have a regular job. Right?
If Maserati West was
I have
like,
a regular job. I just don't talk about that.
He was
part
like-
of my pie chart on this podcast.
he was like, "Yo, Duke, I want to join up on your softball team." Would you let him, knowing that you would have fans there every week?
if he started with Yo Duke, I probably wouldn't entertain the question.
yeah.
But I'm actually missing softball right now. I just have all you guys know that are sitting
wow.
in this room. Yeah, I'm missing 2 softball games for this podcast.
Feel really special.
Well,
Well, it's a little thin here. I mean, it's a little thin. The regular cast of characters isn't here. I mean,
I like changing the cast of characters up a
we
little.
finally chased Philly Marino away from a microphone, which is clearly not their friend. And Worldwide's not here shouting in everyone's ear, so maybe we could get something accomplished today. I don't know.
Man,
Well, what do you want to accomplish? Let's air your grievances.
some real hatred between still Duke Money and
There's no hatred.
the Weird World
I clearly
Experience.
was taught a very valuable lesson at Wrestle Rager
You were?
by all of them. Yes, that they can all takes 5 of them to beat me. That was the valuable lesson that I learned. Thorne had to almost kill himself to get out of a one-on-one match with me. He had to give himself
Wow.
a disease in New Orleans.
I gave it to myself.
Yeah. Injected it.
Hey,
Is that how that
whatever
goes?
it takes, man. However you got out of it, didn't you?
You know what's crazy is this is what he really thinks in his head when he's in his office. Counting his
when I'm
stocks.
in my office, I think about you. Yeah,
He,
Counting
right.
his
thinks, he thinks
stocks.
Worldwide has crazy ideas.
Oh, yeah.
These are the things he comes up with.
Oh, Worldwide has crazy ideas. Trust me, we all know that. We've all heard enough of them to know that. But yeah, that's what I learned. I learned it takes five guys to beat me. So that's
So what are you gonna say if Wes Barkley beat you? It took 70.
yeah. It took 73. I'm 73 guys and girls, I guess, because it's a mixed crowd with Wes Barkley.
It is, yeah. Brings the ladies, brings the guys. They're all there. Some older ladies. His mom. I don't know. Are you going to be
His
like
mom. His
yeah?
mom
Are you going to be
comes,
like
yeah.
Eddie and try to go after the mom?
If she tries anything, I won't be afraid. I'll pie face his mom right in front of him if I have to.
Pie face his mom. Wow.
That's not acceptable in this day and age.
Hey
Yeah.
man, if she comes over that railing, she's fair game.
Ripping rails.
Won't be doing any of that, but
Yeah. So this Saturday night,
Yeah.
the Winchester, the
Look
Duke.
out.
things are gonna get crazy, man.
Entire melee here.
Yeah. I don't know what's gonna happen with this show. It's gonna be pretty
The show's going to be unique in general, though.
very interesting venue.
For those who've been to,
I have not been there, Steve guys, so tell me all about it.
well, I was going to say for those who've been to Tequila Jack's / Music Links, they've undergone so many changes there. I think the most recent time that we were there is very wide open, and you got a good space for our shows, right? The Winchester is not that. The ceiling's going to be a little bit lower. The room's going to be a little bit tighter. I mean, you're going to be right on top of the action.
It's actually a lot more spread out though than I thought.
yeah.
It's bigger. Like I think it's bigger than what it actually looks like when you walk in. Like I think it's probably comparable in size to the Music Links. It just
You think so?
Yeah, when we were in there, they had some tables and stuff set up.
That's true.
They're gonna take all that stuff out of there.
Standing room only. People should be prepared for it, right?
Yeah, standing room only.
Will there be a locker room, unlike
Yes.
Music Links?
Yes.
Where there's like a pseudo locker.
Yeah, there's like a green room, like for bands.
Okay,
and
that's
shit.
where I'll be. Where's everybody else going to change?
Oh.
in there.
What are you gonna have a big
You-
sign on the door?
We're sending you in the basement.
I'm giving
gonna
my
have a star on
you
the
should
door?
be you should the Winchester should be getting my rider in a few days.
What's on a Duke rider?
I want
sleeveless champion shirts from
everything
Walmart.
must be sleeveless. Number one, I want some Mr. Hero.
Mr. Hero.
Big fan of Mr. Hero.
How many neck towels?
Neck towels? At least 3. 2 for show and 1 for actual use.
Miller Lite drafts only.
Yes, a keg of Miller Lite, tapped,
Whole keg, just for you.
preferably with a bartender available.
This guy's calling other people alcoholics.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, I didn't say I was going to drink the whole thing. I mean, people.
Got to be an attractive bartender. So
It
that
doesn't have-
so that you could be punched in, or just a bartender to serve.
Just
it
a
to you?
bartender.
Oh, okay.
That'd be a perk, but that's not. I'm not going to get ridiculous with my demands, but
Oh no, none
No.
of this is ridiculous.
So I don't think that's ridiculous at all. And then, of course, a bowl of nothing but blue M&Ms.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
What kind of M&Ms?
Milk chocolate.
Oh, okay, the original.
I am not a peanut or almond guy, or caramel, whatever.
Cat's
that
trying
new
to
one
break
is.
out right now.
I got the same problem. My cat likes to tear screens apart.
Whiskers is trying to escape because you're here, Duke. I think.
Honestly, that's not the case at all. Because if anyone loves cats that is ever on this podcast, it's this guy.
I
love
will
cats.
say, I listened to last week's episode.
Swoggle was nothing but disrespectful, and I was
Yeah.
not happy.
Disrespectful to Mr. Whiskers. Wasn't a fan. I like Mr. Whiskers very much.
Disrespectful. He was disgusted
Yeah.
I
by
think he's
a live
afraid-
animal.
I think he's afraid because did you ever see that movie Cat's Eye, Stephen King, where Drew Barrymore's the little girl and the gremlin is attacking her and the cat has to fight the gremlin to save the little girl?
No, I didn't
no.
see that one.
You should see that because I think that's where he gets his angst,
That's
that he
the
thinks
problem.
cats are going to attack him.
Whiskers reminds me of the cat from Hocus Pocus.
I've never seen that either.
Never saw that. That's
never
probably
saw
going to
Hocus
create
Pocus?
a stir because I know that's a super popular movie
Well,
amongst
I mean, you
people
were
on
not
Halloween.
a kid when that came out, though.
When did that come out?
Like
90s.
93, maybe?
No, I was not a kid. No.
Yeah.
What were you doing in '93?
I was in college.
Ripping rails.
Ripping rails.
No, I was drinking beer, studying.
Drinking Miller Lite.
No rail ripping.
Were you drinking Miller Lite draft in college?
In college, I was drinking probably Miller Lite, or I was a big Keystone Light guy in college. I really liked that for some
wow.
reason. I don't know why, but I did.
All right.
I found that to be quite tasty.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So back to the Winchester. It's going to be a unique setup, but there's going to be... I think it's going to be more of a rock vibe than Music Links based on the lighting and everything that we saw.
Yeah, I mean it's a legit concert venue, and also it's going to be a different vibe than Music Links because we're running like a mile away from Mount Carmel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of the regular fan base that didn't like to travel out there.
Right.
That's why we're trying it. Music Links keeps trying to get us to do more shows out there, but we got offered this, so we're going to see how this goes. You know what I mean? For kind of the, a lot of people like those Music Link shows. They just don't like traveling out there. They like seeing the new people and the
Right.
different talent. So
Yeah, if we're voting, I would definitely vote to stay in town.
Street parking only.
I hate Lakewood so much, and that's
Be
why.
prepared for that.
It's one of the main reasons why I can't stand Lakewood.
Yeah.
But I will go to the Winchester for the show, and I will support them.
Preferred parking, not on the Duke's rider. So, be a support.
It is now. Thanks for reminding me.
and
But is the after party still at the Funhouse?
no, we are going to just after party right in there. They have a bar. They have a bar connected.
Yeah, so they have a bar immediately as you walk in, and then the
Oh, so this
concert
is like
venue
this is
to
like
the
a
back.
legit concert with no bar. It's just like a big
Well,
open
the
no,
concert
concert
venue
area.
has a small bar.
No, it's like two separate venues. There's like a bar, restaurant, and then there's a back room that is
Yeah.
like a venue space for concerts and things like that.
which there's also a bar in there.
Okay.
So we're just gonna stay there. The fun house is close, but we're just gonna keep it rolling in there.
Yeah.
I was half kidding. I mean, I was not going to leave a bar to go to another bar. I wouldn't think, but
Hey man, you never know.
We
I
do
don't
love
know.
the
I
Funhouse.
don't know you guys. We got a good deal at the Funhouse, so I wasn't sure. I had to make sure.
We love the Funhouse.
So what else are we going to talk about this week besides the Duke and his life?
Well, what else you got planned for this zero? I'm going to say it wrong.
Zero Cool.
I keep wanting to say zero.
I
chill.
got a question for you. Why did you name it Zero Cool? Usually these shows have a logical reason for the name. You can kind of figure it out. What does that mean?
Do you know what that's from?
No, that's why I'm asking.
It's from the movie Hackers.
Hackers. I never saw Hackers.
It's a 90s
Just a
movie.
pop culture reference.
No, I
Angelina
know what
Jolie.
it is. I know what it is. I just
Angelina
never saw
Jolie
it.
was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Johnny Lee Miller, who they met and they end up getting married from that movie.
Yeah, this is taking a turn.
How about that?
Big mistake by that guy, apparently, because
Yeah.
she's been married how many times now?
Maybe three? Him, Billy Bob Thornton, and then Brad Pitt.
Right.
Really liked those three name guys for a while there, I guess. Johnny Lee Miller, Billy Bob Thornton, yeah.
Well, maybe if you meet her, you could throw your middle name in there, Steve, obnoxious guy, and
Oh!
should be all over you.
Look at Duke taking shots. My goodness.
Hey, man.
All right, now
So
so we're
what-
caught up on the gossip.
Yeah. Now that you know what happened in Us Magazine. So what are your expectations for Zero Cool, John Thorne?
My expectations?
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's going to be a good showcase show for like a lot more of the localized talent, a lot of the students, and
Outside of course, Wes Barkley versus myself, what match are you most looking forward to?
well, I didn't know that I was looking forward to that one at all. But
You just said it was a social experiment. If you're going to conduct an experiment, I'm sure you're interested in how it goes.
well, it is a social experiment.
Yeah.
But I wasn't that interested in the results because I kind of know what the results are going to be already.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just more of looking to see how a lot of these guys do in, single situations and things like that, like Zach Thomas and Dominic Guarini interests me a lot. Also No Consequences guys, Trey and Chase taking on the Fuckets in a straight up tag instead of, they're used to these big multi-person 5-on-5s or, a 4-way tag. So stuff like that, it's kind of to, test the waters on some things. And like, if this works well and, obviously we pack the place. I have a very good suspicion based on the pre-sale that it's going to be packed in there. We would go there possibly instead of going back to Music Links. We would add additional shows at a cheaper price at the Winchester to kind of, work with the Mount Carmel shows.
Oh, there's still some tickets available right now, or did you leave? I guess the better question is, did you leave enough space for some walk-ups?
Yeah, there's space. There's enough space for walk-ups. We just we only put 100 for sale online, just because the localized guys are selling tickets, actual physical tickets.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we have to take into account for that. And it is much smaller space than Mount Carmel. This is our general area that we have shows at. So the expectation was more than 100 people were going to buy online. So we don't want to oversell it.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is I think there's maybe 10 tickets left online at this point. Once those go, we're going to release some tickets at the door the day of, but after we get all the people that need to be in the building.
Do you have a cutoff? Is there a...
I mean, I'm sure that there is a cutoff, but I haven't been actually told a cutoff.
We also have PME earning their #1 contender shot, taking on the tag
they
team
dropped that
champs.
challenge at Escape from Cleveland.
Yeah,
Kind of out of nowhere. Wasn't really expecting it, but
they wanted.
apparently that's all you got to do is ask, and you get it. I
How's that
guess.
working out for you?
Terribly. I'll be honest with you.
Well, PME is all about those good times and good vibes, or good vibes and good times. However, whichever order that goes, maybe that's your problem.
I'm about none of that. I'm not about good times or good vibes.
Yeah, so
I hate everybody.
maybe that's the thing. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
So did you get any questions for me?
I got some questions here
Let's
too
hear.
for you, and because we're going all.
This one's all over the place.
All
You guys
over
are
the place
talking.
here in this episode.
We got time for maybe one or two of these questions.
Well, if you tag Angelina Jolie in the description, maybe you'll get more listens because we did mention her.
This is a good question that I think is on a lot of people's mind because Joey Janela's injury obviously well known at this point, and Joey did win the J-Lit this year, which means he has a cash-in opportunity. Is there an expiration on that?
I mean, typically we like to do it within that year time frame, but obviously we're not gonna hold him to that based on the circumstances that happened. He's out for, I think he said it's predicted to be over a year he can't wrestle for. So I mean, we're not gonna just forget about that. But obviously plans have to change and things. AIW has to keep kind of moving forward in the meantime. So it's kind of like let's wait and see what happens with Joey and see what the prognosis after they're back.
Well, because you saw his tweet where he listed, the litany of things that he did, and it was 6 or 7 or 8 things deep. Individually, those things, having had knee issues for a long time myself, individually, a lot of those things, if you look at them, aren't terrible. But when you layer all of them on top of each other, it's incredibly significant. And does out for a year mean he can't wrestle for a year, or he can't do anything for a year and then he starts rehab? Or, what does that mean?
Yeah, there's too many unanswered questions right now, but I guess the short answer would be no expiration date for him, but also don't expect anything to happen with it, or there to be any mention of it anytime soon, because like he said, like Duke's just said, he said a year, but that could mean a year, and then he has to
rehab,
and then he has to feel comfortable wrestling again. I mean, this could be a lot longer.
If he's getting surgery on his knee and it's basically they're rebuilding it,
yeah, he's not walking.
He's
going
to be for 3 or 4 weeks, stand on one leg on a piece of wood with a roller underneath it for balance. I mean, that's stuff I had to do. So I mean, it's going to take a long time. But as we just said with PME, clearly what Thorne just said was all he's got to do is ask when he comes back.
Oh man. Well, he doesn't have to ask because he actually has a cash in.
Well, I mean, but even if it expired, he'd go, "Hey, John, come on," and John would be like, "Go ahead, Joey, you crazy kid."
What if you asked?
No, it would expire. It probably would expire before I left the building the night I won it.
If Duke had won J-Lit and he had a knee injury, would it expire?
Okay, the Duke winning J-Lit.
Why? See, now this is what I'm talking about. You could just simply say yes. That's all I have to say is yes, it would expire.
Steve Guy, I'm usually not a fan of your comedy, but that was the funniest thing you ever said. The Duke winning J-Lit.
We'll see.
Well, good.
He's got to be invited first.
Good point.
Somebody did actually ask me a question in an email asking what my favorite recent stand-up special is. Since you
don't you have your own podcast? Isn't that what those questions are for?
Yeah.
What is it? I don't watch any of these stand-ups.
I haven't watched a good one in a while.
I'm a big Bill Burr fan, and he released one a few months ago. So I'll watch that all the time. I watch plenty of Bill Burr, and there's some good stuff out there on Netflix right now that's kind of like groupings of different people. So like any other show, it'll have a season, but then it'll be like 7 episodes, and it's all like 20 to 30 minute specials, so to speak. And some of those are pretty good of various people. You get to see people who aren't huge names yet. But in this same email, is John Thorne excited for the new Halloween movie?
Yeah, I'm going to go see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Of course you are. I don't understand. I'm glad this got brought up.
Now let's recap this for just a second. How many Halloween movies are there?
7th.
So there's 10 with the remakes.
Is it that many?
There's 10
with the remakes.
I have never seen any of them.
I got the box set right there. If you want to watch them, you want to stay over tonight.
You guys gonna have a slumber party?
No,
Blu-ray.
Oh well, man, you got me on that. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, I'm not a horror movie guy, so I've never actually seen any of the Halloween movies. Like not even the first one. I've seen like little bits and pieces of them, but never sat down and said I want to watch.
Did you purchase that box set yourself?
No.
Okay,
I did not.
Just a little follow up.
Have you purchased anything? Have you purchased anything in this home yourself?
I mean, I'm sure something.
Exactly.
This got covered in last week's episode. Yeah,
I'm
pretty
sure,
much not.
Sure something. bought those Halloween decorations out there.
I thought that,
That
she
shows.
cut his head off. And
Okay, this is
Okay, even I can answer this question,
One of the
Steve Guy,
Halloween
but I'll
movies.
let Thorne go ahead.
it's been every sequel has been what I think the term is retconned.
Yes.
So everyone, all of them have been retconned except for the first one, and this is made to be the sequel to the original.
This is a direct sequel of the original one, as if
Oh.
none of the other ones ever happened.
So
Okay.
none of them ever happened is how they're going about this one. So it's
Interesting.
40 years after the first one.
Oh man, I can't just ignore these things.
How do you?
This podcast is all over the place. I don't know.
I didn't really, I guess, pay attention to the preview. And listen, man, I saw H2O because LL Cool J was in it.
Okay, outside of Halloween,
I saw Resurrection at a drive-in. I got a blowjob. It was sweet.
was that a conspiracy, or did you actually get one?
No, this was real.
Okay, well, I don't know. I'm just checking.
There you go.
Only in Canada is it a conspiracy. But outside of Halloween, like if you had to rank all of the famous horror movie franchises, how would they go? Because I think Halloween is your favorite.
I like I like night. I like Friday the 13th the best, probably. Honestly,
Oh, really? Okay. I have seen probably about 4 or 5 of those.
I like I go Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween. Halloween's probably third,
Really?
and then after that, I mean, who knows?
Is that the movies, or you think like the characters are better? Like, is
I
Jason
meant the movies.
Is Jason a better character than a Michael Myers?
I
Or
don't.
just
I mean,
overall
it's
the
just.
movie
I think
better?
it's just the movies. Yeah,
I actually saw Friday the 13th at the theater.
the first one.
No, I saw 8 at the theater.
Oh, Takes Manhattan.
Takes Manhattan when he punched the dude's head off.
That's the worst one, though.
I realized that. But it came out and I felt like I should probably go see one of these, so I just went and saw it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a bad one.
I'm gonna ask this one because even though we constantly get asked about the women's division and we give the same answer,
Who's the champion now?
Vacant.
it's, you know, she's on
I
TV.
slowly vacated it, but she's still really the champion.
Yeah. Is there any
All she's got to do
chance-
is ask when she comes back.
I feel like I know this answer, but is there any chance Silesia Sparks is ever going to be in AIW again? Because I believe her ban is almost done? Question mark.
Well, so I think she still has at least 2 years on
Yeah,
the ban.
I thought she still maybe had.
It was a
couple, but I
5-year
figured you would know
ban.
better
That
than I.
was Wrestle Rager, which was 2014.
Yeah, maybe. So she still.
I
had-
know
so
it was because she was supposed. Eddie and I were supposed to wrestle her and Ethan on that show, and that's when she got.
Yeah, because what happened
got
is
popped.
it was the 3 shows. They did Friday, then they went back and did Ring of Honor on Saturday, and then they tried to come back.
No, she got popped. It was Friday was when we were supposed to have the match.
Was it?
Yeah, because Sunday was Ethan and Eddie in the dog collar.
No, that was Hell on Earth.
That was Hell on Earth. But no, the I remember it was Friday that we wrestled. Yeah, that was the first day when she got popped,
But so
which
she-
I think was September of 14.
So she maybe has about a year, at least.
But here's
at
the-
least a year.
So here's the thing, though, is like even with her ban up, she is still going to get extremely, like that stamp doesn't leave your passport, even though you're allowed to re-enter the country.
Yeah, because
So-
now they're just going to ask her more questions and
So now she's going to be even like under even a larger microscope. So I would not anticipate Silesia Sparks wrestling anywhere in America unless she got signed to WWE or TNA or someone that a company that could actually get her a visa. AIW can't get somebody a visa because we just cannot. Like we could say, hey, we're going to give you this many shows or whatever, but it's very complicated to where like if you enter Canada, I know we've probably talked about this before, they passed a law that's like a small time entertainer law or something to where like people could just come and like as long as you're not like fucking Justin Timberlake or something, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
where you're going to be making all this money. You could just come, like you say you're a wrestler, you can wrestle there. You could, it's comedians, bands, all that sort of thing. Like, they passed a law to where anybody can come in and perform, but America looks at it like taking away jobs and working in America and taking away an American's job. So they want a visa with a taxable income, and
Nothing.
So
I don't think that was weird. I don't know what he just did. He made
Were
a
you trying
weird
to go
noise.
South Park?
It was a South Park reference, yeah. I was trying to do it quietly because I
Yeah,
didn't want
I
to
gotcha.
totally step on him, but yeah.
I've never seen South Park either, but
I know. We'll talk about that.
so yeah, I don't like. That's kind of a long answer, but just based on her situation, just because her band's up does not mean that she's going to be legally allowed to perform in America based on the
Yeah.
law.
But she still works?
Yeah, she does.
Does she?
In Canada, yeah. So, I mean, the answer realistically, is that's not necessarily up to us.
Unless somebody knows how that we can, somebody is like an immigration person that knows how we can get her a proper visa that's not going to cost $5,000.
Yeah.
That's really how it goes.
I think you have to get sponsored.
Yeah, like we could
you have to get recommended, I think, and a lot of times when if it's like you're coming over for a job, it's your employer that will, do that or whatever, or if it's a family member or something like that you're visiting or whatever. But I think you have to have like some inside connection in order to get
like we could say hey, we're sponsoring her, but that that doesn't matter. Like
there's no connection there. And if you say it's because she's going to work for us, then it's going to be a whole other
because then we have to pay her a taxable income and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Josh Alexander, he was sponsored. He had the money. I wrote a letter. Various other people wrote letters, and he got denied. So I mean, you could also pay all that money, and it doesn't mean it's going to work.
So our next question, somebody recalls us mentioning that Brian Pillman Jr. was to appear at JLIT, then obviously injuries happened. Any future plans to potentially have him in AIW?
I mean, maybe, you know what I mean? There's just nothing. There's nothing on the on the plans right now. I guess as it's weird that his dad's wrestling on the TV. You asked that question, but there's. I mean, I haven't really talked to him since then. I saw him at WrestleMania weekend, and he's becoming extremely busy right now. So I think he would be a guy that if he was going to come in, I would want to do more than just have him wrestle a match. You know what I mean? Like I don't think he's on that level of attraction yet. Mm-hmm. So he's kind of in this weird in between stage right now, his career, and like timing is everything. Like JLIT is a great time to debut people, and if they get over, a lot of times you see those people on the shows for the next year, or here and there sprinkled out. So it's just it's just a timing thing with him. I don't think I could just be like, hey, here's Brian Pillman Jr. in this random match, and then because we have our roster is fucking, it's too big right now.
Yeah, it's deep.
There's 3 people in this room. Steve Guy that graduated from Miami of Ohio. Me, you, and Brian Pillman.
I always forget that Brian Pillman did.
That's right.
Man, that's crazy. Makes that in itself is worth going there.
Exactly.
Last question, and I chose this one for last because one bartender, Nick Sanka, showed up.
Oh God!
And the question reads: I remember in a past podcast, I believe you mentioned trying to book Johnny Bananas or CT to appear on an AIW show. Just want to know, how big of a challenge fan are you? And if you're still watching the show, what's your opinion on the current season?
I love the challenge. I still watch it. There was a time where we had a challenge fantasy league going on. That's kind of faded away, though. But, we did try to book Johnny Bananas and CT, but the price tag was... CT never got back to me. Johnny Bananas was very expensive.
His price tag was bananas, huh?
Oh, it's very expensive.
Now, I know, unfortunately, I actually know who CT is. Which one is Johnny Bananas?
He's won
he's
the
like
most
head,
challenges, right?
Yeah, he's like the
well,
head
I don't
guy.
watch... I bits and pieces here and there from like 10 years ago, and I think the same people are still on the show, if I understand
A lot of
correctly.
them are.
I'd have to show you a picture. I don't know how to explain who he would be, but...
Since they're all like 40 years old now, have they calmed the challenges down at all?
Oh no, they're wild.
Yeah.
Are they?
They do like developmental where they bring in these new people, or they'll bring in like
They have a challenge school. Does Dominic train there as well?
yeah, they'll bring in like your ex-girlfriend from real life, and then all of a sudden now she's on all of them, and then
Oh, okay.
it's crazy.
Oh, Nick Sanka chiming in here.
I'm trying to get Cara Maria front row at the WrestleMania weekend show.
Who's that? She's
Yeah, he's Nick Saka has some ins with he's a big fan of the Challenge podcast, Challenge Mania, and he's tried to get some real world road rules, the Challenge stars at the WrestleMania weekend show.
Do you sit around with your child and watch the Challenge, Nick Sanka?
No, he's in bed by then.
He's in bed by then?
Yeah,
He's
it's
not
on a
gonna
10
know.
p.m. 10 spot.
Now, they
Oh,
don't
that's true.
do
It's
they
a
don't
late
do
one.
real world and road rules anymore, right? They
No, it's
do
just the Challenge.
Challenge.
And the real world, I think maybe.
What is that?
They got cast members from Big Brother and other shows as
Oh,
well.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that come on.
They've really expanded.
They've come on to fight the kind of like gladiator fights, the old established
Reality
feuds.
TV fights.
Yeah, the old established people try to get. Now, do they get if they get bested on a season of the challenge, do they get kicked off, or do they keep bringing the same? Like if somebody comes in and walks all over CT,
That would leave Mark. He'd be back. That person would be back. 'Cause CT's a tough bastard.
Do you think we should do an AIW like the Challenge?
Yeah, me and Matt Justice talked about that before.
That could be like Patreon exclusive stuff right there, John Thorne. We're always trying to think of ways to get the Patreon going. Put the Duke in there.
He'd have to catch up on 40 years of the channel.
I got to watch a challenge and figure out what's going on. All right, I got some time.
No, I don't mean like a podcast. I mean like an actual. We have challenges.
That's like fucking like
Where
what
are
is it?
you going to get the resources to do this?
Yeah.
You think we got MTV money, Steve?
Have you
guys?
seen?
Get a few more
You
muscle
haven't,
vodka.
you haven't watched the challenge in a while, man. These challenges are fucking
In
extravagant.
the process of fixing this training ring either.
And don't they go to like exotic
Like-
locations? and
yeah, I
stuff?
think
Where are
they're-
we gonna go, Steve? Guy, Brooklyn, old Brooklyn, and have a challenge on a playground.
Edgewater Park, brother. Putin Bay. I don't know.
Yeah, we need a big sponsor for that. I'll tell you what. But yeah, I do watch it. I think I'm about 2 weeks behind on the current season right now. So,
Oh no.
Oh, you're totally lost. I'm sure.
but yeah, I keep up with it. I don't watch the fucking they started this like offshoot charity one, like developmental one called Stars versus Champs or Champs versus Stars.
Last season of that was awesome.
I didn't
the one
watch
with
it.
the
That the one with
hosting?
Punk and
Yeah, the Miz
Owens.
hosts.
Wasn't Terrell Owens on
That season sucked, but season 3 was a lot better.
Okay.
Who was in that one?
They brought back that chick from the Olympics from the first season. I forgot her name. Big Boobie Gibson from the Cavs.
Oh yeah.
He was on it. J-Lo's ex-husband,
Oh, was it
Casper.
Lolo Jones? Is that the Olympic?
Lolo
chick
Jones
that
was on the
there?
first season.
Okay.
So this is kind of like Pros versus Joes, but MTV style.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It's that last season, season 3. Check it out on your Fire Sticks.
I switched my cable, so MTV is like no longer in the range of channels I go through. So I never happen upon it.
Dude, we have a joint favorite show, and it's coming to a close this season.
Which one is that?
Gotham.
I do enjoy Gotham. I think having a conversation about that would literally kill John Thorne.
Yeah.
because he knows
Well,
nothing about it.
no.
So
I've watched a couple episodes.
have you?
I have.
All right. All right. And you're not a comic book guy.
I'm not a comic book guy, but I liked Batman as a kid. I didn't know Batman was a comic book though.
Okay.
I only knew
Oh, just the
Batman
movie?
from the movie and the cartoon. I had a Batmobile waterbed when I was a kid.
The cartoon is one of the greatest animated TV shows of all time.
What about that, Duke? I had a Batmobile waterbed when I was a
That's
child.
awesome. By
That's
the
pretty
way.
cool.
Yeah,
First, just that it's a Batmobile, but then add waterbed into it.
I've actually seen the.
I had no idea about comic books. I've still
Yeah.
never read a comic book in my life, though.
Yeah, I mean it's impossible to keep up with because there's so many changes and they come out. You know, there's 2 or 3 coming out every week that you got to get in order to keep up with it.
So many different series.
Yeah, it's impossible to keep up with. But I am surprised that you actually have any idea who Batman even is. That's impressive.
I've seen all the Batman movies. That's the only comic book whatever that I've seen all of those movies.
Okay.
Do you own that box set?
No,
Okay.
Who's your favorite Batman?
my favorite Batman.
There's a right answer to this question, by the way, too.
Oh, I think I'm gonna go with Michael Keaton.
That's the right answer. Good job.
Oh, not Val Kilmer or George Clooney, huh?
Val Kilmer wasn't as bad as everybody made him out to be. George Clooney was terrible.
Yeah.
But Michael Keaton is my favorite. Just much like Jack Nicholson is my favorite Joker. So
Yeah, it was pretty good.
You watch the more I watch that movie.
Nick Sink over there tapping on a mic.
The more
he's gonna hear.
The
it
more
come
I
over a
watch that
speaker.
movie, the more I enjoy it. I find something new to enjoy about the movie every time I watch it.
Which one?
The original 1989 Batman.
Oh yeah. Sweet soundtrack from Prince.
It is a sweet soundtrack.
Prince did that soundtrack. And what about? Did you ever see the old Adam West Batman movie?
Oh yeah, of course.
That's so great. I own that on DVD. I love
where they shrink them with they turn them into dust. All the dignitaries.
And
That's a great.
And
one.
then the shark bites
It's got the
him.
bat shark repellent.
And he's punching that that
Of course,
dummy
those
shark.
I mean, that's classic. I mean, and that was like one of the best things to do back in the '60s was that with that show. There's so many unbelievably super famous actors who played villains on that show.
Yeah, Burgess Meredith.
they could pull like Vincent Price and Burgess Meredith and Frank Gorshin, who's actually really famous, and some other people.
Cesar Romero.
Yeah, it's just that they could pull those kind of people to do that and act just ridiculous for a half an hour. It was amazing
great.
to me.
Anything else that we want to cover on this cornucopia of an episode?
Yeah, this wrestling podcast.
Hey, every once in a while you got to go off. You got to go off the board.
Yeah, so this Saturday at the Winchester, tickets will be $20 at the door. There'll be very limited amounts available, and I think it's going to be a good show. I think it's 10 matches. So
I'm really sad that I'm missing it.
Full bar, full kitchen,
I just
full
got
food.
more excited. I didn't know you weren't going to be there.
Yep,
Nice.
there you go.
Pedro will be MCing.
Nice. All right, back to normal. Thank God.
So yep, that's really all I gotta say. I hope this turns into a new kind of secondary venue for us.
There you go.
Remember, fans, you hate the Barkley Nation. You hate the Barkley Nation.
What are you
hate
just going
the
to keep
Barkley
repeating
Nation.
it? And like,
Yeah, I'm trying to get it.
doing
I'm
like
trying to go
hypnosis
Season
or
of the Witch
something?
style and get inside of people's heads and convince them.
Okay.
Is that a good reference? Is that right? Is that kind of what happened in Season of the Witch?
No, Season of the Witch. They played.
It was a commercial TV. It was a subliminal TV commercial.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
then-
trying, man.
Then there's the whole thing with Stonehenge, and it's supposed to turn the kids' heads into snakes. It's a very strange movie, but I love it.
I'm glad I missed it.
Well, all right then. Well, for the Duke, John Thorne, and bartender Nick Sanka, my name's Steve Guy. We will see you guys hopefully this weekend at the Winchester Music Tavern in Lakewood, Ohio, and we'll talk to you next week here on The Card Is Going to Change.
Louise Hazel. That was her name.
The Olympian?
Yeah.
Okay.